Hi everyone. Today our topic is a topic from Indian polity as well as modern Indian history part. The topic is Swaraj Party. So whenever the Swaraj Party comes to our mind, then these three persons, Motilal Nehru, C.R. Das, and Ajmal Khan, mostly this C.R. Das come to our mind. Okay, let's discuss about this Swaraj Party. The Swaraj Party, established as the Congress-Khilafat Swaraj Party, was a political party formed in India on 1st January 1923 after the Gaya Annual Conference in December 1922 of the National Congress that sought greater self-governance and political freedom for the Indian people from the British Raj. So you see, from 1923 to this year, 2023, this is 100 years. So it's very important for the upcoming examinations. Now, formation. The suspension of non-cooperation movement in 1922 was met with an impressive measure of logical inconsistencies among pioneers of the Congress Party. We know, we all know, due to the Chori incident, the non-cooperation movement was withdrawn by Mahatma Gandhi. So because of that, means a greater number of logical inconsistencies happened among the pioneers of the Congress Party itself. Some wanted to continue the non-cooperation, while others wanted to end the legislature boycott and contest elections. So you see, so among the party members, there are two. The means two kind of divisions. One who wanted to continue with the non-cooperation and one who want to contest the election. The former one means this who continue the non-cooperation, they are called no-sengers. And the latter was called pro-sengers. Okay. Now in 1922, in the Gaya session of the Congress, Chittaranjan Das, who was presiding over the session, moved a proposal to enter the legislature, but it was defeated. So the credit went to Chittaranjan Das behind this party, because although it was defeated, Das and other leaders broke away from the Congress and formed this Congress-Khilafat Swaraj Party, with Das as the president and Nehru as one of the secretaries. Now, what were the objectives of Swaraj Party? You know, the Congress-Khilafat Swaraj Party, or simply we know it as Swaraj Party, aim for speedy attainment of dominion status. Remember, the goal was to attain the dominion status. And they can be divided into different objectives. Like first one is the obtaining the right to frame a constitution, adopting such machinery and system as are more suited to the conditions of the country and genius of the people. So they first kept the objective as to frame a constitution as per the conditions of the country at that time, right? Means the conditions, whatever the machinery that would suit that situation, right? Then second objective was establishing control over the bureaucracy. Third, obtaining full provincial autonomy. Then attaining Swarajya, that is self-rule. Then getting people the right to control the existing machinery and system of government. So the means existing machinery and system of government should be in means what people want actually, right? So people should have some control over that. Then organizing industrial and agricultural labor. Then here one question came to our mind. Can you tell me in which session the means full independence was considered as the goal of the Congress? Can you tell me which session it was decided? If you can, then do comment the answer. Okay. Then next objective is controlling the local and municipal bodies, organizing industrial and agricultural labor, having an agency for propaganda outside the country, establishing a federation of Asian countries to promote trade and commerce, engaging in the constructive programs of the Congress. So this should be considered as a kind of constructive activities by the Congress. Now, what were the methods they have taken? First, what gave a peculiar distinction to the politics of the Swarajists was their bold intention of tracking the reforms from within. Then the Swarajist method of obstruction to all government-sponsored laws were calculated to destroy the prestige of the councils, which has totaled the nation's self-assertion and respect. Third, the methods of the Swarajists on the destructive side emphasize rejection of the votable parts of the budget and rejection of proposals emanating from the bureaucracy. This is very important. So, methods of the Swarajist party or the destructive side of emphasize rejection of the votable parts of the budget, right? And rejection of the proposal emanating from the bureaucracy. So what they tried to do, they tried to enter into the system and they were trying to put obstruction to those colonial instruction, or you can say colonial rules. They tried to destroy the prestige of the council from within. That was the main actually aim. While on the constructive side, they sought to move resolutions calculated to promote a healthy national life and displacement of bureaucracy. Still, where they had focused as a constructive activity, that one is to promote a healthy national life. So these are their methods. Now, what are the significance of the Swaraj party, or that initial name, or actually why this name came to our mind as Congress-Khilafat Swaraj party. Later, it shortly named as Swaraj party. Now we have to know that what achievements they have got, right? And what are the significance also. So first, let's come to the significance. You know, Gandhiji and both the pro-censors and the no-censors realized the importance of putting up a united front in order to get reforms from the government. So one united front was required, both means that was realized both by pro-censors and no-censors, even Gandhiji also, right? So it was decided that the Swarajis would contest elections as a separate group within the Congress party. Although, what they were protesting, they were trying to do something against those kind of exploitation policies of the British. So for that, they emphasize on contesting election, but as a separate group within the Congress party. Now, what happened? The Swaraj party won 42 out of 104 seats to the Central Legislature in 1923. The party's program was to obstruct the government. They wanted to create deadlocks on every measure, because if you entered into the system, then only it was possible that you could put some deadlock on the different measures, or you can on different exploitation policies of the British. They boycotted all the official functions and receptions held by the government. They voiced their grievances and aspirations in the Legislative Assembly. Now, these are the significance. So what were their achievements? First achievement is that Swarajis, Vittalbhai Patel, became the Speaker of the Central Legislative Assembly in 1925. So, as a party, you should consider this as a kind of achievement from that Swaraj party, because Vittalbhai Patel became the Speaker of the Central Legislative Assembly in 1925. Then they outvoted the government many times, even in matters related to budgetary grants also. That was a very that should be considered as a important achievement, because budgetary related information or budgetary related decision, British never cared about the Indians, right? Then they were able to defeat the Public Safety Bill in 1928. They exposed the weaknesses of the Montego Sandstrom reforms. Then they gave fiery speeches in the assembly on self-rule and civil liberties. So you see, first Vittalbhai Patel, Speaker of the Central Legislative Assembly in 1925, and budgetary grants. They outvoted the government many times. Then they defeated Public Safety Bill in 1928. They exposed the weakness of Montego transport reform, different fairy speeches given in the in the Assembly for self-rule and civil liberties. So they can be considered as their achievement. But still, this Swaraj party had some drawbacks. What are they? First of all, they could not coordinate their struggle inside the assembly with the mass freedom struggle outside. They could not coordinate because that was a different side, right? So there's a lagging, or you can say lagging behind between these two, the coordination part. Now, they totally relied on newspapers to carry their work and message in the assembly to the outside world. So if the newspaper being banned, then what would happen? Right. Some of them could not resist the parks of the power. Like, Motilal Nehru was a member of the Skin Committee. And Ramaswamy Iyengar was a member of the Public Accounts Committee. Then their policy of obstruction had its flaws and limitation also. And one more thing is the death of Sitaranjan Das. The death of Sitaranjan Das in 1924 further weakened the party. And there were internal divisions among the Swarajists. They were divided into the responsivists and the non-responsivists. Responsivists, M.M. Malavia and Lala Rajpat Rai, N.C. Kelkar, they were actually responsives, and they wanted to cooperate with the government and hold the offices. While the non-responsivists means they try to withdraw from legislature in 1926. And in the non-responsive sides, Motilal Nehru was a big name, right? So don't confuse. Responsive is Malavia, Lala Rajpat Rai, N.C. Kelkar. Then non-responsive is Motilal Nehru among the Swarajist party's two divisions, right? Then the party was in shambles when it went into 1926 election, and as a result, did not perform well, right? The party's failure to support the peasant cause in Bengal led to the loss of support of many members. And finally, they merged with Congress in 1935. So you see, from the 1923, the journey was good. Okay, with a good spark. But after the death of the Sitaranjan Das, 1925, and also the internal division as a non-responsivist and responsivist, they actually could not perform, or they could not continue the consistency of performance. And in the 1926 election, they could not perform well. And ultimately, due to their failure of support in the peasant cause of Bengal, led to a loss of support of many members. And ultimately, in 1935, they again marched in Congress. So this is all about Swaraj Party. And I think that this is a very important topic for the coming examination due to the fact that this completed 100 years, right? Because it was founded in the year 1923 and March in 1935, and now on 1923, and today we are in 2023, so 100 years, right? Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you.